And after that day, everything would change forever. A band that until then was little known sparked an unprecedented revolution by releasing a song that would become the anthem of a generation. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana would remain among the most listened to songs even after 3 decades since its release, and would be considered by many as the greatest song of all time. Today we're going to reveal the incredible story behind this hit, and understand the true meaning behind the lyrics. I'm Guilherme, and you're on the Decipher Hits channel. The band Nirvana was a short-lived phenomenon, but a very intense one. Formed in '87 by Kurt Cobain as the vocalist and guitarist, and Chris Novoselic as the bassist. The drummer Dave Grohl, who is now the lead singer of the band Foo Fighters, joined Nirvana in 1990. With only 3 albums released, they sold over 70 million copies worldwide and changed the history of music forever. Unfortunately, as fast as their rise was, so was the end of the band. Kurt Cobain couldn't handle all the sudden fame and the impact it had on his life. By the way, Nirvana was an alternative rock band, known for their disregard for the mainstream. In other words, they rejected songs that became too popular and flooded the radio, often lacking meaning and being purely commercial. And that's exactly what accidentally, the song Smells Like Teen Spirit ended up becoming in the eyes of Kurt Cobain, which made him very frustrated. Actually, everything about this song turned out very differently from what Kurt expected, starting with the title. At first, it was going to be called Anthem, but that was already the name of a song by the punk rock band Bikini Kill, whose lead singer was Kathleen Hanna, a friend of Kurt Cobain. However, it was actually Kathleen who accidentally gave Nirvana the current title of this song. Here, after an afternoon of heavy drinking and philosophical discussions about anarchy and feminism, Kathleen spray-painted several random phrases on the wall of Kurt Cobain's living room while he slept in his bedroom. The next day, Kurt saw the mess his friend made in his living room and found a phrase on the wall that stuck in his mind. Kurt smells like teen spirit. The phrase that fascinated Kurt so much was actually a joke from his friend Kathleen. She was just saying that Kurt had the same smell as his girlfriend, Toby Vale, who used a women's deodorant called Teen Spirit. But Kurt didn't know that, and he thought the phrase was the result of the philosophical conversations they had that day, and that it could represent a spirit of revolution and social awareness among younger people. And that's why he kept that title for the song. Smells Like Teen Spirit was released in September of '91 on the band's second album, Nevermind. And since the previous album, Bleach, hadn't been that successful, the band didn't imagine that the new album would have such a huge impact. Even though Kurt considered himself an average musician and just wanted to make underground music to pay his bills, the truth is he was a genius at music and didn't even know it. And the album Nevermind revealed that to the world. With memorable tracks like Polly, In Bloom, Lithium, and Come As You Are, the album brought everything young rock fans needed at that time. The success of the album was so great that Nevermind took first place on the Billboard charts in '92, knocking the iconic album Dangerous by Michael Jackson out of the top spot after 4 weeks. But despite so many incredible songs, the biggest impact of Nevermind came from the song this video is about. One of the most memorable aspects of the song is its striking harmony. Very similar to guitar riffs from other great rock classics. But what really inspired Kurt Cobain when making this song was the style of the band Pixies, one of his favorite bands. As for the meaning of the lyrics, there are some disagreements even among the band members themselves. Dave Grohl has already stated that he finds it hard to believe the song has any deep meaning, since Kurt wrote all the lyrics in just 5 minutes. Grohl said that Kurt was just trying to find impactful and random rhymes that would fit with the melody and rhythm of the song. In fact, many American radio stations avoided playing it for a simple reason. No one could understand what Kurt was singing until the album booklet with the lyrics was released. And from then on, many started to identify the song as a revolutionary anthem for young people and teenagers, which is clear right from the first lines. Call your friends, it's fun to lose and to pretend. Although Kurt also stated in some interviews that the lyrics had no meaning, in others he opened up a bit more, saying that the song was made of contradictory statements to play with the idea of a revolution. In addition, he is reported feeling disgusted by his generation's apathy, his own apathy, and his lack of courage. And he stated that the lyrics also say a lot about himself and his group of friends, who still felt like real teenagers because they didn't follow the rules of what society expected from them as adults. In the pre-chorus, Kurt uses a figure of speech called assonance, repeating vowel sounds to create an internal rhyme, since the word hello sounds very similar to how low. In addition, he creates a contrast between hello, a friendly and positive expression, and how low, or even how shallow, a negative expression. The passage may reveal a criticism of the superficiality of mainstream music, which often just spreads human stupidity around the world, like a contagious disease. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, Cobain explained this famous line, saying, "This is something I used to say every time I arrived at a party to break the ice. Often when you're in front of several people in a room, everything gets boring and uncomfortable. So I would say, well, here we are, entertain us, you invited us here." In this way, Kurt mocks the attitude of teenagers who go to the show just to have fun, and who often don't see the artist as a human being, but rather as a puppet there to entertain them, which can lead to catastrophic results, as happened with Kurt, and as we explained in the video on Amy Winehouse's Rehab. Even rapper Jay-Z has used these lines to express the same feeling. The end of the chorus in Smells Like Teen Spirit features seemingly disconnected wordplay. But it can be a way to celebrate groups that, most of the time, feel out of place in society. Just like Kurt and his friends also felt. Another interpretation is that he might be talking about classic cocktails that have these same names and that many people associate with increased libido. In the last verse of the song, Kurt seems to talk about what contributed to his end. The passage can also be interpreted as an allusion to the art of making music. Since in his farewell letter, Kurt wrote that he hadn't found joy in listening to or creating music for many years, and he felt a lot of guilt because of it. Kurt also suffered from frequent mood swings and various internal conflicts in his mind. This play of contradictions is evident throughout the lyrics. And as much as Kurt tried to avoid revealing it, the song really did seem like a way to expose the confusion that was in his mind. Along these lines, he shows that he has something important to say about his struggles, but he ends up preferring to keep it to himself, which may have been a terrible decision. Kurt finishes the song by screaming, Is he referring to himself, to young people, or to society? Well, the fact is that Smells Like Teen Spirit exploded in the 90s in such an absurd way that it put Kurt Cobain in a position he never wanted to be in. He started to be seen by many as a genius and the spokesperson for a generation. Kurt started saying in interviews that the lyrics didn't have any special meaning, which might be true. Or maybe it was just a desperate attempt to reverse the image the media and the public had created of him. Nirvana helped popularize grunge, a subgenre of alternative rock, with such intensity that it no longer made sense to call it alternative, since everyone was listening to it. The sudden success attracted a completely different audience from Nirvana's original target audience, and Kurt felt terrible having to perform for an audience full of the kind of people he always rejected. And they were the ones going to the shows, just to hear the only song they knew, Smells Like Teen Spirit. He even went so far as to purposely sing the song, wrong and right at the beginning of the shows to see if the fake fans would leave. Unfortunately, Kurt couldn't withstand his inner demons, combined with the destructive effects of fame, drugs, and the music industry. Even so, the impact the band had on the music world is undeniable, inspiring more young people to discover bands of the same style like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and many others. And although Smells Like Teen Spirit is indeed an excellent song, the fact is that true Nirvana fans have always recognized that Kurt's talent went far beyond a single song, and they will forever honor his legacy and his memory. If you've watched the video up to this point, you must have really enjoyed our content. So, besides leaving a like and subscribing to our channel, now you can also contribute directly to Deesa for Hits by clicking the Thanks button. Thank you for staying with us. See you next time.